Stage in the life cycle of a xenomorph. Its 8 bony, finger-looking legs allow it to crawl quickly, and its long tail can be used like a coil to launch the facehugger great distances. These appendages give the facehugger an appearance of something comparable to chelicerate arthropods, such as horseshoe crabs or arachnids. The facehugger is a parasitoid. Its sole purpose is to make contact with the host's mouth for the implantation process. The facehugger secures its finger-like appendages tightly around the head of its victim and wraps its tail around the host's neck, eliciting a gasping response and allowing the insertion of an ovipositor into the host's esophagus. An embryonic form of the xenomorph is then implanted into the stomach of the host. During the implantation process, the host is given a constant supply of oxygen via 2 lung-like organs. Attempts to remove the facehugger result in the parasite tightening its tail around the host's neck, almost as a threat of killing the host, if it's not allowed to continue the implantation process.
It's turning still.
I know.
Another deterrent is its highly pressurized molecular acid blood, which sprays wildly if the parasite's skin is cut, ensuring that if it is removed surgically, the host will suffer catastrophic burns, almost certainly leading to death. As the implantation process nears completion, the facehugger's epidermis solidifies into a chitinous layer of silicon, probably in an attempt to ensure the success of the implantation. Once the embryo is safely implanted, the parasite detaches from the host and retreats to die in seclusion. Eventually, the larval form of the xenomorph, known as a chestburster, will erupt from the host's chest cavity, resulting in death. No one's ever survived a chestburster, naturally, that is. Okay, now on to the queen facehugger. Queen royal or super facehuggers, like most other facehuggers, come from eggs laid by queens. Although they're somewhat larger, possess armor and a bladed tail to help them protect the unborn queen they carry inside. They also have webbed digits and a dark brown coloration. A royal facehugger is capable of impregnating at least 2 separate victims with chestbursters, one with an infant queen, the other with a typical xenomorph, and the facehugger doesn't die until both of these embryos have been implanted. Exactly how long a queen facehugger can survive after impregnation is not known. The specimen on Fury 161 survived for quite some time between impregnating Ellen Ripley aboard the USS Sulaco and attacking Babe the Ox, or the dog, on the planet's surface. Now on to the giant facehugger. Not to be confused with the queen facehugger. The giant facehugger is a large variant of xenomorph facehugger, used to guard and defend the nest's eggs. Although they're incapable of implanting hosts with an embryo, they can use their legs and tail to subdue and pin opponents, while regular facehuggers move to implant the victims. So they're basically protector facehuggers that can't impregnate. Bet you didn't know about that one. Up next, the Praetorian facehugger. The Praetorian facehugger is a special variant that is capable of implanting an embryonic Praetorian. It's one of several means by which a Praetorian can come into existence. They're also essential in the creation of ravagers and carriers. Physically, the Praetorian facehugger is a larger and more durable variation of the regular facehugger. They're armored, they're chitin blood red in color, as opposed to the typical beige skin tones of their regular cousins, and have a more scorpion-like appearance. They're capable of traveling longer distances from the hive unaided, and leaping farther than a normal facehugger. Praetorian facehuggers have been shown to be capable of subduing even particularly tough Yautja victims, even ones specially trained in killing facehuggers, such as the Brawler or Spearmaster. Up next, the Body Hugger. The Body Hugger, aka the Trilobite, was a massive octopus-like creature resulting from Charlie Holloway being infected with chemical A0 and engaging in sexual intercourse with Elizabeth Shaw. Similar to a facehugger, its primary purpose appears to be to implant an embryonic deacon into a host. It's not made clear if the creature was conceived by intercourse, or if the infant creature moved into Shaw from the infected Holloway. It's unknown how the creature gets out of its host naturally. Shaw removes it too early. However, its violent movements prior to this suggest that it bursts like belly bursters, emerging from the host's abdomen. The trilobite grows to a massive size within hours, and can even overpower a 9-foot-tall engineer. Now onto the Hammerpede. Not a facehugger per se, but still a creature which attacks the mouth, shall we say, so we don't get demonetized. When the US CSS Prometheus arrived on LV-223, the crew, led by Shaw and Charlie Holloway, discovered the temple. When they disturbed the room containing ampules of chemical A0, it began to leak the urns onto the floor, infecting several worms which mutated into hammerpedes. Milburn and Fifield, 2 members of the crew, got lost and managed to reach the urn room, where they discovered 2 hammerpedes. One of them rose up and freaked out Fifield, but Milburn looked upon it, fascinated. Milburn tried to touch the creature, but the hammerpede flared its crests and attacked him, constricting Milburn's arm. Fifield tried to help Milburn, but his attempts to remove it only made the hammerpede constrict tighter, which resulted in it breaking Milburn's arm. In an attempt to save Milburn, Fifield cut off the Hammerbeat's head, a hole made by his protruding bone entering his mouth. Always the mouth. Now on to the final entry, the Snake. The Snake is a mysterious type of facehugger that only appears in the Aliens Trilogy PlayStation game and concept art for Alien 5. God knows what it does. Take a guess. Comments below. So which Alien video would you like to see next? Please let me know in the comments below. Now on to my Patreon squad. Check out these awesome and super cool supporters of Viral Killer. Yes, on the movies. These are my personal favorites. Okay? Personal favorites. Okay. Number 10, Newborn. This truly ghastly xenomorph appeared in Alien Resurrection, 1997. It was a hybrid of xenomorph and human. Initial concepts show that it had two genitals, one entering the other. Nah, I'm not going to show it because I'll get demonetized. Ripley 8 was created using blood samples found on Fury 161. She was successfully cloned with the Queen alien still gestating inside. When the Queen was extracted, it was also tainted with human DNA. Eventually, the Queen grew a womb, and the newborn was born. Well, I never claimed to be Shakespeare. Number 9, the Deacon. The Deacon was created after a trilobite body-hugged an engineer. Sounds like a WWF move. After what seems like a few hours, the Deacon tore its way out of the engineer's body, using its elongated skull like a knife. The Deacon is possibly the largest chestburster to date, almost approaching the size of a human when born, probably because it was an engineer. The Deacon was originally supposed to be a 20-foot Xeno, dubbed the Ultramorph. Number 8, Cloned Xenomorph. These look like the classic Xenos, but they ain't. Clone xenomorphs are the result of human DNA tainting the Queen alien in Alien Resurrection. They appear to be a lot more fleshy, kind of like the protomorph, with a dark green coloring. They escape after sacrificing one of their cellmates, using the acid blood to create a hole in the ground to escape. Clever girl. Girls. Clever girl. Get the t-shirt. Number 7, Queen Alien. Well, the Queen Alien definitely deserves a mention. She's the queen, the ruler of the xenomorph hive. The queen lays eggs that produce facehuggers. Once the facehuggers find and attach to a host, the xenomorph embryo is inserted into the esophagus, and a chestburster emerges. Yep, it all starts with the queen. Kill the queen, and you still won't win, because the xenomorph warrior will probably molt into a new queen, and start laying eggs again that produce facehuggers, and it repeats. The average queen stands at 6 meters tall. It first appeared in Aliens 1986. Number 6, Runner Alien. The Runner Alien spawned from a dog or ox, depending on the cut of the movie Alien 3. It lacks the dorsal tubes on its back and runs on all fours. It appears to be less intelligent and more primitive, at least compared to the classic human-spawned xenomorph. One idiot called Golic lets it loose after it was captured earlier, and it wreaks havoc on the prison situated on Fury 161. No weapons exist in the prison, and they're forced to use themselves as bait to corner the Xeno into a molten lead pit. Number 5, Neomorph. The Neomorph first appeared in Alien Covenant. It's pretty damn scary, almost giving the classic Xeno a run for its money for most sleepless nights caused with a light on. The Neomorph is native to Planet 4, well, kinda. There's no queen, no eggs, no facehuggers. They're created via spores, which, if you think about it, is even deadlier, as the spores can easily travel through the air, infecting hosts via the ear, nose, etc. And that's exactly what happens in the movie. The Neomorph emerges from the back, or sometimes mouth, and possibly other orifices. Neomorph! Neomorph coming through! Or is it Chicken Vindaloo? Neomorph! Number 4, the Protomorph. The Protomorph is the original Xeno, created by David, the android on Planet 4. It's possibly the first Xenomorph ever, except for this one. Okay, it's possibly the first Xenomorph XX121 ever. Damn, I'm a geek. David managed to create some facehugger eggs, Son Queen. God knows how, possibly using Shaw's body. They contained primitive facehuggers. David lures Captain Oram down to the cave. One of the facehuggers attacks him. What a surprise. After a few hours, the baby protomorph emerges. It appears fully grown, with limbs. Unlike the classic chestburster, it was more snake-like in appearance. Ridley Scott even mentions that the protomorph can regenerate limbs. Whether he was being a senile old man making stuff up on the spot or serious, I have no idea. The protomorph looks a lot more fleshy and organic compared to the classic Xeno. Number 3, the Queen Facehugger. What? Yes, anything can be a xenomorph, including the facehuggers and even eggs. The Royal Facehugger has only appeared on screen once, very briefly, in a special edition of Alien 3. It's only seen for a few seconds when Murphy finds a dead creature alongside the dead box. The Queen Facehugger possesses webbed digits to ensure a nice grip on the host. This is a queen alien we're talking about. Gotta get a good grip. Number 2, Warrior Alien. Yes, I'm running out of ideas to make 10. Top 9 sounds crap. There needs to be 10, goddammit. The Warrior, also known as the Soldier, is the primary assault cast of the Xenomorph XX-121 species, and as such is almost certainly the most numerous cast of Xenomorph in existence. They're fast, robust, and savage combatants. Even in death, the Warrior is dangerous, as its pressurized bloodstream will cause it to burst apart, drenching nearby enemies in acid blood. Warriors are identified by their rigid heads and stand around 2.2–2.4 meters tall on their hind legs. Warriors first appeared in Aliens 1986, but were actually the result of a last-minute design change made by director James Cameron. The original smooth drone headpiece. Well, what did you expect? You can't put RC Cola at the top spot. You gotta put Coca-Cola.
No sugar, no calories, just great taste. Classic Xeno.
The classic Xeno first appeared in Alien 1979, and since has caused many a sleepless night for children and adults across the globe. It spawned from a human and is highly intelligent. The human skull can be observed inside the dome. It possesses 6 creepy digits: dorsal tubes, bladed tail, attack tongue, acid blood, all the usual Xeno goodies. Bonus round. Tubes, bladed tail, attack tongue, acid blood, all the usual Xeno goodies. Bonus round, the Predalien. Well, I don't consider the AVP movies Alien canon, but I'll mention it since it appears in the thumb. The Predalien first appeared in AVP as a baby chestburster. Aw, hasn't he grown since? We saw it as an adult in AVP-R, Requiem. That movie sucked. Regardless of what you think of the movie, Predalien has an awesome design. Apparently, Predator dreadlocks are genetic. The Predalien uses its mandibles, like a facehugger, to attach to the victim's face, and proceeds to lay 5 to 6 eggs. You don't need to guess what happens next. So I'm going to pass some questions off to you. Which alien is your favorite? The Predalien or Classic Xeno? Please let me know in the comments below. Now onto my Patreon squad. If you enjoyed the video, consider becoming a Patreon supporter. For as little